20.1 degrees, 20.1. And the starting mileage is 14,018, 14018. So we had another candidate come in for an interview yesterday for the software developer position. So it's me and one of my coworkers interviewing, and like we're doing all the standard, here's a little background about the company, a few personal questions about, what you're currently doing, describe your projects, etc. And then we start the technical side of the interview. And if you guys don't know, C# is one of the languages that we program in at work. So my coworker goes to the candidate and says, so how do you rate yourself on C#? 1 to 10. So if you didn't know, that by itself is kind of a dumb question because it doesn't really mean anything. You can rate yourself a 1, you can rate yourself a 10. We don't really know. But what we're doing is what my coworker is actually doing is it's actually a setup question. We're basically seeing if you want to hang yourself. So let's see if I can explain this well. So the candidate says he's pretty good. He's a 9 out of 10, and he basically just hung himself right there because if you didn't know, my coworker, if there's any 9 out of 10s, it's probably my coworker. He's pretty smart. He reads a lot, does a lot of research, and actually practices code at home or experiments with whatever. He always wants to be on top of the latest and greatest. So anyways, candidate says he's a 9. So my coworker starts out with an easy question and soon gets into, if you want to call it, level 9 questions, and the guy just buckles under every single question. Basically, he might have, if he was lucky, got maybe a third of the questions right. And these questions aren't simple yes and no's. Here's the thing. Let's go ahead and draw this on the board. How does this thing work? How does this do this? And this guy just basically spent most of his time staring at the board. And we had a couple coding examples we wanted him to write out for us on the board. Didn't know those so well either. And as he's facing the board, I look over to my coworker. We also give these people a coding test afterwards. I pointed at the laptop that we give the coding test on, and looked at my coworker, and I shook my head and then said no. We're not giving this guy the test. This guy, he had a lot of experience too. His resume looked great. A lot of work with big name companies, published his own book, did independent consulting work. Everything was there. It looked like he would have been a great software developer, but I think what became clear is he wasn't a software developer. He might have massaged his resume to look like a software developer, but he's most likely a manager who knew all the fancy talk, all the technical geek speak, and could recite it, just couldn't actually implement it. So I don't know if you want to call it this. We basically flattered him for the rest of the interview and then let him go. So this kind of just reaffirms what I said before. Don't lie on your resume. We're gonna find it. We actually did find we just interviewed a total of 4 people in the last 5 days. Out of the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. We're gonna say no to 2. The other 2 we're gonna make an offer today to one of them, and then the other one's kind of the backup if the first guy doesn't accept. So that long drawn out process is done, or hopefully done. It took, how long did it take? Been doing this for over a month and a half or something like that. It's a lot of admin time, a lot of looking through resumes, lots of interviews on site, looking at notes, comparing notes, making a decision. Just be glad when it's done. Ending mileage 14,061, 14061.